ends up turning into a match. Sorry, a squirrel just came running under my legs.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm not twitchy. It caught me off guard. There's two squirrels chasing each other. Next thing you know, flying under my feet. Like, I'm like,
he's looking for some nuts. You better check your shorts.
It's like one of those. It's like one of those times when you get distracted and you go, squirrel. It was literally a squirrel. It was for reals a squirrel. Our names are Matt Jackson and Sean Green. We were just veterans BSing in parking lots about wrestling and their storylines until last year when... Dude, why are we just talking about this? We should record it and start a podcast. When you start a podcast, you have no clue what you're doing. You fumble through all the technology.
Yep, you're back up, but you froze for about a minute. Oh, you're gone.
You rely on Google searches and reviews to piece it all together. You rely on your co-host for insightful content.
Surprise, surprise. Dude, you got an iron bladder. Does I have to go again?
You make some friends along the way.
The big man himself. El Jefe himself, Mikey.
Okay, let's just rip the Band-Aid off, shall we?
Hi, Nick. Long time no see.
This is going to be a match real soon.
You eventually reach 100 subscribers. Reese hit our 100 subscribers, so perfect timing for Reese. Bottom line is, as you continue to push out content, you'll always have a podcast. With all that said, welcome to the If We Had the Pencil podcast. Here are your hosts, Sean Green and Matt Jackson. Welcome to this week's edition of If We Had the Pencil podcast. I'm your host. I am finally unstuck from the mud. Just wait until y'all see it when I finally get it published. I am no longer stuck in the mud, folks. Great news. But there's a lot of mud on my truck and my camper. Anyways, I'm here with you, thank goodness, and we're about to go on to leg 2 of our ringside trackside journey. But with me, as always, my tag team partner, Mr. Snuffleupagus himself, Matt Jackson. Matt, how the hell are you?
Good, man. How you doing? I bet you half the roads in, like, Watkins Glen now could be considered dirt roads. I can just imagine all the mud and slop came off them trucks and campers when everybody left Sunday and Monday. They're going to have a massive cleanup, not just around the track, but the whole general area.
I definitely left some ruts. It'll be in the video that I put together. But, like, oh, my God, I survived. And you know what sucks? And it was funny because I was telling people at work today, you know, they're like, oh, you've been on vacation. How was it? And I was like, it was pretty good. And then I was like, let me show you a photo. And I would, like, put up a photo and I'd be like, so this is me. But then, like, hindsight being 2020, it was the shit show. And then, like, once we got settled in, was it optimal? No. But was it, you know, it's a memory. We'll always remember that time we survived mud bogging in Watkins Glen. So, and the racing was just top notch.
Yeah, and the weather kind of, by race time, it improved for the races. Some of your other stuff.
It did improve for the races, but I will say that this weekend is going to be the polar opposite, and it is going to be hot as hell. So you got to tell the listeners what your youngest daughter did Saturday at the track. Yeah,
just to give them a tease, because I'm sure it's going to be in the web series whenever that comes out.
I probably need to go on the the official podcast account on X and retweet it. So for Saturday, because it was Backlash, and again, my daughter is not a wrestling fan, but she loves Danhausen. So she came up to me a week or two before we came, and she goes, I want to do my makeup like Danhausen. And I was like, okay. You know, she's kind of a unicorn in that sense. And I was like, okay, cool. So she goes, what day should I do it? And I was like, do it Saturday. He's got a PLE and he's got a match. Let's do that. She goes, okay. And man, let me tell you, it was hilarious going around. Now, mind you, my middle daughter mortified, wouldn't even sit with us in the stands because she was done up like this. But in reality, so when you go to NASCAR, they have this thing called the fan zone. And it's basically just a bunch of vendors giving away free stuff. You can buy merch, blah, blah, blah. She goes to the Mission Tortilla place, right? And they're handing out bags of chips. They doubled and tripled her up every time she came by that day because they were like, we're just going to load you up because we don't want to be cursed. And I was dying.
So they
laughing.
knew who she was without her.
They knew who she was, and she got stopped a couple of times. And then we're in our seats during the race. There's this dude coming down, and he looks at her. He goes, "Hey, will you curse my buddy?" So she whips around and does the "You are cursed" to her buddy in the stands. I was just like, "This is awesome." And it was even better. So, like, she put a NASCAR flair on it because, like, we're a Trackhouse family. We love the race team Trackhouse. SVG won Sunday. That was great. Zillich won on Saturday. So we won 2 out of 3. Ross, not a great day, but we'll get through it. So I'm actually wearing a Trackhouse shirt, but surprise, surprise. So we get through, so she needed a cape. And we just switched out Trackhouse flags for the RV this year. So she goes, "Dad, can I use the old one?" So she has a Trackhouse flag around her like her cape. And even when we were in the merch area and like some guy walks up, he goes, "This is what I love about Trackhouse fans." And you're like, he's like, "You're Trackhousen?" Like, it was great. She gave a great flair and really set it up well she set it up well for
good. I can just imagine some of them old timers up in Western New York probably like, "Who's the goth chick with the?"
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely people, but you know what? My daughter moves to the beat of her own drum, so I'm not gonna judge. And it was fun, and it, unfortunately, like our Saturday podcast was a little disjointed. Here's a disclaimer for you folks. The USA app sucks. It is terrible. And I saw the intro of Alexa and Charlotte 5 effing times. I'm like, I got up early. I'm trying to watch the PLE. And I'm like, okay. And then next thing you know, it goes into commercial. I'm like, okay, I can get through this. And then the commercial ends. We get the intro. Okay, cool. It goes to the next commercial, and then it starts all over again. I was like, what the? A lot of F-bombs and cursing. So I'm like, well, I haven't seen the end of this, but I did get to see the end of it after the fact. So lots of good stuff there. And Trick Williams is awesome. That's my end state to everything. It's like, and Trick Williams is awesome.
No mud wrestling at Watkins Glen, no mud fights.
We're a little old for that. There was just a lot of drinking and a lot of plodding through mud.
Well, I was thinking with the alcohol, someone would throw a cow patty or a mud patty, and that would start shenanigans.
You were so caked in mud that you just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
You were like, I'm over this. I am over this.
You had one clean spot. Boom, I got it for you. But I feel bad for everybody that suffered through it, but it looked like everybody had a good time.
I'm over being disgusting and dirty. I need you to pay attention to the dogs, please, so I can shower.
Okay. So, so let's get into it.
Sponsored by Sean's Dog Walking and Pet Watching Company.
Dog sitting.
He even gets paid for dog sitting his own dogs.
I know, right?
There we go. We have a sponsor, and it's from within.
Yes.
Doesn't even count.
So let's get into it. So we get into Backlash. If you want to hear what we talked about on Saturday, we talked about SmackDown. We talked about, give you our thoughts. Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. It just reaffirms that Seth Rollins could have a great match with a broomstick, a book, whatever. Braun Breaker looked brilliant as well, and he was really impressive. Just a great match. It's kind of what I expected of the match, and probably the best way to kick off the show. Not the shenanigans, but not too many shenanigans.
The shenanigans worked out right, though, because Braun was down and Seth was able to fight off Paul in theory. Problem I had with it was too easy for Seth to fight him off. Yes, he had a chair, but if you're trying to make the Vision like a really tough faction and they're your World Tag Team Champions, they shouldn't be chased off by a tired guy just wielding a steel chair. But I honestly, I love the match. Just went a shade over 21 minutes. At the time, I thought this is a possible match of the year candidate. It may be a top 10 match of the year, but match of the year, I don't know. It was really good, and the fact that these guys are both just coming off injury is even more impressive to me. So, really, really liked the match. I gave it an A grade. Wasn't quite an A+, but solid A. What a way to kick off a show.
Yeah, I agree. I agree very much. But unfortunately, we have a little bit of disjointedness like right now because, we're back. We're packing. We're back. We're packing.
Yeah, you're leaving tomorrow morning to head to Dover, so back on the road again.
So after that, we get Trick Williams and Sami Zayn, which, man, Yachty, everybody played their part so well in this, right? Like, I really am appreciating Lil Yachty a little bit. Not that I haven't said I haven't appreciated him before, but, like, I really liked him in this. And, like, again, just another match that just totally made, from a flow and everything else perspective, it made perfect sense. And, like, the story told during the match actually worked out really well.
Yeah, it did. And I really like how they've turned Sammy heel. I mean, we've known it's been coming for a long time, but they just haven't, like, vomited it onto us.
Yeah, they didn't just go hit the switch.
Right.
They used the dimmer switch.
Yeah, they did. One click at a time. Click, click, click. But it's good, because it's actually... I'm interested in this Sammy. I like it when Sammy spirals out. And let me tell you what, there was not many Ride or Die fans in Tampa, because that was about 95% booze, so his Ride or Die might be north of the border.
I hate to say it, but Florida is NXT territory, honestly.
It is.
There's an intimate relationship with Florida, so not that other people don't go over, it's just an intimate relationship with Florida folks.
And it was a great crowd, and I think it had a lot to do with what Braun and Seth did in the opener. They just got a hot crowd really revved up. Again, with the NXT connection, Braun was a world champion for a while, so a lot of people down there still have fond memories of him down at NXT. So, yeah, I didn't even think about that being NXT land, because that's more Orlando, but Tampa's right up the road.
Yeah, that's kind of my point, right? Like, you're going to get carryovers, but I think, like I said, there's an intimate relationship. I mean, Florida's always been a great wrestling market anyways, so it just works.
Well, look, if you look at this card, it's all youth against veterans. Braun Breaker against Seth Rollins, youth versus veteran. Trick versus Sammy. You look at the rest of the card, it's all the same. Jacob Roman, Asuka.
Yeah, no, and it's
the next
new era.
Is its own thing. It is, and I think that's awesome, and I think the fans are stoked for it. I think they're excited for it. Want to see these new stars come out, and we even saw this on Raw, where tell you the new stars are bringing the excitement. Like, the crowd is really amped up about the new guys.
Yeah, I agree, and like I said it for months now. It's we got through the transition, and now we're starting to see the new era pay off. And it's good. Like, there's people that instantaneously kind of came in and took the reins. No pun intended. But, like, and just every time I watch Trick, man, superstar. Trick Williams is going to be something amazing. So, like, I really do think that. I think he has all the stuff. And I think, like, even his friendship with Lil Yachty, it's just enough, right? It's not that celebrity appearance where you're just like, oh, and it feels a little forced. It is clean and it makes sense. And he's getting good at the popping up on the ring side at the right time. Trick's not really a heel, but he's also not really a face.
He almost cost Trick the match at one point. He was distracted.
Mistakes happen.
And he's opened up his mouth. So I wonder if that's part of the story where Trick's going to have to put him in check a little bit, or is it just going to be part of Yachty's character where he kind of just gets in the way. But still, it was a lot of fun. Fans were heated up over it, and I mean, Trick just got charisma all over him from the minute his music hits until the time it's time for him to go back in the dressing room. just phenomenal. And it went under 13 minutes, but it seemed like they did a lot in 13 minutes.
Yes.
Like,
It never really slowed down.
no.
And that's the thing. The pacing was good.
Yeah.
All right. So we found out who Danhausen's mystery partner was. All the speculation, it was CM Punk.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
that
the
was your first
boogeyman.
thought.
I settled on one of the midgets from WrestleMania, and I was right. We got Danhausen and Littlehausen, and I was like, it's so Danhausen to make a clone and the clone come out as a mini-me. It was just so good. And whoever that guy is, my God, he was so good too.
I've seen the name, and I think Mikey knew who it was, but yeah, he was good. Like, even the comedy match was good. Like, the wrestling in the comedy match was solid. Even Danhausen's work was pretty good.
It was probably the best I've seen him wrestle to date in WWE. So, like, you know, obviously we don't get out much. We're main roster only, but I think it was the best I've seen of him. And then on top of that, but Bully Ray brought up a good point on Busted Open, and he basically said, you know, everybody played their part perfectly in this to make that work. Otherwise, it would have turned into a steaming pile.
Yeah.
The Minihausens all did their part. Kit Wilson did his part. The Miz, it's time to start giving Miz his flowers, man. He just makes stuff work.
And
you
Kit
know,
Wilson, too, because anytime Littlehausen, Minihausen, whenever you do like a Hurricanrana, like Kit Wilson was flying out the ring. Like, he just didn't fall to the mat. Like, he sold it.
Yeah.
Like, he
they were.
He kind of oversold it, but it was okay because it fit. And I really liked that, what Kit and the Miz were doing.
It was interesting to see though, because like the Minihausen was like, we see this a lot with like when people would go up against Omos. We see it when they go up against bigger people, Tala Tonga. Some people have a hard time wrestling big against bigger people. And that should be a training video of how to take on a bigger opponent, because it worked. You know, yes, there's some give and take in there, but really, you know, you'll see people, you know, Nia Jax is another one of these that people sometimes have a problem with. Like, I'm smaller, you're bigger. How do I do this? Blah, blah, blah. And he just threw caution to the wind and was like, Finn, you know, like, yeah. I'm doing my thing, and it was great. It was absolutely great. I loved it. I was chuckling. It was a night, and it's good that they put it in the middle of the show, right? In the middle of the show was the sweet spot, and it was great. So, but yeah, I don't want to belabor on Danhausen. I could talk forever because he has become one of my favorites, and I really do enjoy him. So, obviously, my daughter does too. Yeah. So after that, we get a hell of a match, and that's Eoska, probably the match of the night if we're being honest. But Eoska and Asuka and everything, just so good. The blocking of the mist, all of it.
Great spot, super creative. I knew this was going to go long. I actually thought it was going to go longer than what it went because of the way they started, but I just loved we get to see a lot more of Asuka's mat game. We don't see a lot of that because she does a lot of her aerial stuff, which we saw some of it. Asuka made her do the ground and pound. Like, I think she really made her work for it. And I think the match was great. You know, the post, at first when Asuka started the hugging thing, and I'm like, okay, maybe they're just wiping the slate clean, but looks like either Asuka's retiring or she's taking a break, or this is
she's taking a break. The story is she's taking a break. She is not leaving. She's taking a break. It was planned, but I think there was a little bit of a torch handoff with her, and she's taking a break. So I don't think she's out. I just think it's a break. And it's probably good for her, too. You know, we get her away. You know, Kyrie obviously isn't with the company anymore. So, like, you kind of give her a little bit of a breather and a reset, and then you move on. Yeah.
And that's speaking of moving on, we want Kyrie chance. That's probably
let it simmer down some. So speaking of which, John Cena comes out, and he said he had a game-changing announcement, and you know, it turns out there's going to be a tournament, You know, the John Cena, what was it, Memorial Tournament or whatever.
John Cena Classic, I think.
Classic.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not dead yet. When he dies, then we'll make it the Memorial Tournament.
Touche. Yes,
Like-
Memorial Day, Veterans Day. Got it.
Yeah.
So he announces this, and at first I'm kind of like, okay, another tournament. But at the end, it's great because it's going to be young and old. It's going to be it's basically going to be a rehash of his last night, and you're going to get a lot of good stuff, and you're going to get, so the fans get to vote who won the night. So you don't have to win your match, just, you know, to win the tournament. And I was like, that's really cool. That's different. And I liked that was the case, right? Like, we're going to have matches. You're going to tell us who did the best. And I was like, sold.
Yeah. It's kind of
sold.
nice.
I like it. It's different.
Yeah. We're not being
know,
told to shut up and color. We actually have some input in this night.
Well,
Now,
it's not just the.
So it's just, you think this would be a lot like the old Cyber Sunday pay-per-views, like when the fans used to vote the match and the stick?
I don't know, but I like that it's interactive. I like that they're going to get you. I like that it's interactive. I like that it's young people that you don't normally see on PLEs. He used Obafemi as kind of his poster child, and I was like, okay, I could do that.
So I wonder if they're going to do a men's side and a women's side. And then also...
it was a little ambiguous.
Matches to qualify for it. So, like, how are they going to do this if it's a one night? So I think your qualifying matches will happen on Raw and SmackDown. What I think and NXT, yeah. We're gonna have to have a meeting, find out if we got to break our rule if it's related to the tournament. So
well, no, because we could just wait until they start in the tournament, and I hope the tournament's in December. That's like the perfect thing to put in December.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get done with Survivor Series.
Watch along. I'm like, that's a good time, and everybody's like, oh, that's too long. I'm like, well, where else you gonna put it?
No, you put it in December. I mean, look at the shit show that we're going through now. Like, we just had a PLE. There's a Saturday night's main event, and then
the
there's
following week you have AAA, and the night after that you have Clash in Italy, and then
Italy.
I don't know.
It's just too much. Okay,
and then before you know it, it'll be August 1st. We'll be at SummerSlam.
I know.
Can we like slow down, enjoy the ride? It's like let's go so fast.
So we get this match, Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu, and it was probably the most I've seen Roman work, like work, and no interference. So that was good. I mean, it ends in shenanigans a little bit. Turnbuckle comes off. Jacob gets smacked into it, gets knocked silly. Roman gets the pin, and then after the match, Jacob just goes ballistic.
Great way to write it.
You had to be really careful. And we're
going to
talk about...
Roman goes clean, but clean-ish. Like, it's still tainted.
It's clean-ish. It's not full clean, but, like, Roman and the Usos right now are so inconsistent as characters, it's hard to tell what they are.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating. Like, the match was great, and they did a good job of making you think Jacob's a threat. And it really... I probably haven't seen Roman really kind of being thrown off his game as much since like Brock Lesnar. So like it was really a nice change of pace for a Roman match. But again, it's like, okay, you went over clean-ish, and we're going to talk a lot about Roman when we get to Raw. But it was interesting. All the, now there's dates for him in June. I wonder if there was a little bit of
something.
Somebody in WWE said it was a clerical error. Yeah. I don't know what's real and what isn't. I don't know if people are just pontificating or what. So I'm not going to say one way or another. But no, another great match. And altogether, there was no B match in this. I mean, the only one you could make an argument for is Danhausen, if like that isn't your cup of tea. But even that did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it was in the perfect spot because, you come off this heater with, Braun and Seth, and then you get Trick and Sammy, and you just get this like palate cleanser, and then you get the other two like banger matches. It was a great card, built properly, well done by all. Really happy with that PLE, and I give it an overall A.
Yeah, I do too. Actually, the shortest match was the Danhausen match, and that was 11 and a half minutes. And the longest, of course, was Seth and Braun at just over 21. But everything else, Trick and Sammy was 13. Io and Asuka went 17 and a half, and Roman and Fatu went about the same. So nothing went too long, nothing went too short. Because sometimes, you get these 30, 35-minute main events, and
yeah, but half of that is like laying outside the ring, and you know what I'm saying. So, like, I'm glad it all worked out. But
we kind of said that about Roman and Punk too at WrestleMania, because like, are they going to get it in second gear? Yeah, because it went 30 minutes, so you knew that they were stretching it out. Nobody's in a rush.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into Raw. So we start off. Roman gets out of his car, sees Pierce, and like, he goes to Pierce is like, I can't allow that. But, now we're talking about firing Jacob, and I'm just like, lame. I think it's lame. And Roman's just like, no, he has to acknowledge me. We'll get into that later too, because that kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, that sounded very WCW lunatics running the asylum type of crap.
It really does. And the fact that Pierce has to talk to Roman, like, did he ever talk to Punk like that? Like, oh no, you're in charge now, big guy. Like, they don't even give me a break. It's just too much. It's too much. Like, at least when the bloodline was at its peak, it was just that spooky, scary, like, faction that you just didn't want to mess with because they were going to ruin everything, right? Like, you were like, oh my God, they're going to make it all, you're like, no, just appease them. And you had Paul Heyman doing all the coordination, if you will. I just didn't buy it. But then, speaking of Paul Heyman, him and the Vision come out, and we get to see temper tantrum throwing Logan Paul. we get to enjoy a little bit of Braun Breaker, celebratory stuff, and then Street Profits come out. Joe Hendry plays a song. It's like a dog whistle for Logan Paul. Logan Paul loses his crap. It was really well done. And like, this
Austin Theory throwing digs at Montez Ford because his better half isn't bringing home the bacon anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like,
Paul's reaction to it the whole time, he's just like, it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was well done. So, yeah. So we get the Vision and the Street Profits and Joe Hendry in a match. And like, Seth got involved here. I feel like he's like kind of hanging off to the side with the Street Profits. So like, holding up the boom box, like say anything, like, saying I'm sorry and shit. It's interesting story arc. It's the arc I wanted for Roman, honestly. I wanted Roman to be that alienated character. And the fact that it's now Seth Rollins is kind of, it's okay, but it's kind of disappointing because this should be Roman's arc.
It should be.
I've been saying it for eternity. It should be Roman's arc. It should be, I should have my whole family. And instead, like, the Usos just go, back, boss. What do you want, boss?
Remember when you quit? Remember when you were gonna quit, Jay? No, I forget. I just acknowledged.
No. You remember when you quit and it took Cody to bring you back? Give me a break. Like, just stop. All right, so we're getting a lot of hype for this mask.
They need to release the Fire Logan.
I think Logan already released his like counter to that, but
yeah, I think it's
like what, admire or appreciate, one of the two.
Yeah.
All right, so we get El Grande Americano, the fake one, I mean the original, and Good Brothers with Dom and Liv. And, Dom and Liv show up and they're making fun, and it ends up turning into a match. Sorry, a squirrel just came running under my legs.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm not twitchy. It caught me off guard. There's two squirrels chasing each other. Next thing you know, flying under my feet. Like, I'm like,
He's looking for some nuts. You better check your shorts.
It's like one of those. It's like one of those times when you get distracted and you go, "Squirrel!" It was literally a squirrel. It was for reals a squirrel. Anyways, so like we get to South Grande. I have to give Chad Gable credit. His half-assery of Spanish compared to Kaiser is just gonna pin you. Uno, dos, tres, and that's it. That's all the Spanish you get.
Yeah, it's just 3 words. And then the Good Brothers just stand there looking stupid. Like hillbilly luchas. Like
I like that they're leaning into
overall. It. Oh yeah.
And I like that they're like giving it's such a weird dynamic. Like,
this was a gimmick that you hated, like from the get-go. When it first came out, you wanted it like 2 weeks and
I
gone.
wanted it dead. And honestly, I'll be honest with it in this sense.
We're a year later almost, or right about a year.
If it wasn't for Kaiser taking over the character, I'd want it dead.
Yeah.
Chad Gable can only take it so far because it was parody when Gable was doing it and like Kaiser leaned into it. So like much better. So after that, speaking of luchadors, Penta comes out, Ethan Page throws a hissy and like Ethan wants it at Saturday night's main event. So Penta's just like, all right, let's go. Rusev comes trotting out, and Javon and, it was just, okay. So that sets up another match. So, which is Rusev and Javon, it's the first time. This is one of those times where I appreciate Javon and seeing him work. You know what I mean? Like, when you're a flippy floppy guy, you can flippy floppy, but to see power versus flippy floppy, it was good. It was good.
I just feel bad for Rusev. Like they brought him back, and now he's just staring at the lights more often than not.
He probably needs a show change, and they need to find more The problem with Rusev is he's kind of in the category where it's like Sheamus, like not super big, like mid-card bigger dudes. And unfortunately, the mid-card right now is all springy, flyy, your Pentas of the world, your Javon Evans of the world. Ethan Page can fly a little, it'll be interesting to see. I need to see more of him before I can really give an opinion.
It just seems that we're a long ways from the Rusev that fought John Cena at WrestleMania and rode in a tank. Like, where's that guy? It's just, and I think you're right. It might be the supporting cast, but because really, what's most of the mid-carders on Raw? They're either luchadors, or they're like people like Javon Evans. And then Ethan Page is on the same side as him, so maybe he needs to go over where the Gunthers are and the Ilya Dragunovs and Carmelo Hayes that can do both.
That's what I think. Yeah. I think the people that wrestle a little bulkier and a little less springy is probably a better fit for him. But we'll see. Stranger, I didn't think he was going to be good in the ladder match, and he was great.
No, Rusev is pretty springy for a 290
for a
pounder,
big dude.
Yeah, he's not afraid to get up and do aerial stuff, and I like that about him. He's just not a grounded pound. He'll climb the ropes and throw drop kicks. He's fun to watch. And I get it why they put Javon over, but...
Well, it's hard to have him eat losses right now.
Yeah, I know.
So it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Yeah, but the Rookie of the Year doesn't normally throw for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns either his first year, so...
Fair enough.
Gotta have an off night now and again, that's all I'm saying.
So we get this
favorite
nice
tag
backstage.
team. Your favorite
Not yet.
Oh, not yet.
We get a backstage segment first.
I was so excited
with Io and Asuka, and it's like probably the true passing of a torch. So it was a nice moment. And like I said, she's not leaving, she's just taking a break, which is good for her. She needs a reset switch. Not in a bad way, just she needs to reset. So, no problems with it. Real happy with it, So,
yeah, when she comes back,
sure.
is that her final run? Because she's a mid-40s, which
That's
for a
up to
women's
her.
wrestler, but she takes care of herself. Yeah, think a break will be good for her. She'll come back for a run. We'll see what happens.
So Matt's favorite tag team comes out.
Oh, I was just gonna say how much I'm gonna miss heel Asuka. I really liked heel Asuka.
Heel Asuka is great. So Matt's favoriteest tag team, Bree and Paige are out.
It's not doing Paige any favors.
No, and it kind of needs I don't know. It needs something, the panache or something. I don't know. It's very okay. So we're just gonna breeze past that. All right, bro.
Yes.
This backstage segment with Roman. Okay. There is, and this kind of ties into the opening segment. Roman again goes back and says, I brought Jacob in, or I approved him coming. Like, get the f out of here.
Yeah, I know.
You were better off using the transitive properties of going solo, bringing him in. Because you know what? You were off on an island all by yourself, hiding away, and you weren't around. You weren't interacting. You know, Paul Heyman getting put through tables, all this other crap. And then you get this at this segment. You know, Jimmy, again, the voice of reason. I do feel like this iteration of whatever the hell this is, you know, Bloodline Light or whatever, I do feel it feels a little more even where, yes, they kind of kowtow to Roman, but they don't hold back with Roman either.
No,
the Usos are kind of more on a more level playing field with them. You know, where they can kind of be like, "You're a dumbass," and he's got to kind of listen, right?
Yeah, he doesn't blow off what they say either. I mean, Roman's going to do what Roman's going to do.
But the fact that he said it's in the contract, he has to acknowledge me. I was like, God, I hope Jacob just throws two birds in the air and tells him to go F himself. Like, give me a break, man. Like, and that's the problem, right? Like, Roman's a narcissist. So, like, he needs them to acknowledge him. And he needs. Yeah, it's really bad. And it's like, he's such a narcissist that, like, he has to say it. No, he don't. He didn't even wait.
It's like, Sean, it was like in the military, we had that officer that had to remind you what his or her rank and position was, or that senior NCO. And like, or, you know, sergeant majors that reminded, we know who you are. It's just that you suck at your job, and we really don't care about you.
Yeah, well, you don't have a lot of leverage over me when you don't have as many combat stripes as I do.
I know. Saying. I like blind person probably read
something here.
Read my braille. I had like 9 service stripes over here. I had 8 combat stripes over here. I was like,
yeah, people would actually look at mine and they go,
they could have stood me on the side of the road like this on the corner, on a bad corner, put reflective tape, and
slow down traffic.
Yeah.
Like I had like formal occasions where like my soldiers, they're like, "Do you got more than the sergeant major?" I'm like, "Yeah, probably," but neither here nor there. All right, so we get another
I just told a lot of the soldiers my first 2 was when I was in Vietnam, just to see what they would say. Yeah, I got these 2 when I was in Nam.
Back at Bragg.
They used to call me old, so play along.
Yeah. We all hit that point. My first combo chief, I used to call him a crusty ass old bastard. Now karma came around by the end of my career, and I was the crusty ass old bastard. You know, like, why are you so crotchety all the time, big guy? And he's like, you'll see. And sure shit, I was that crotchety mofo at the end of my career. Like, back in my day, it was all better. But no, like, we get this match between Eoska and Sol Ruka. So there are times with certain superstars I go, how the F are you getting out of this? And Ruka looked great, and Io went over. Great. It was really well. Io's on another level right now. She's one of those people that is like heating up and kind of hitting her stride. And, you know, we saw it in the match with Asuka. Now we saw it with Sol Ruka. Like, Io probably needs to be back in the world title picture.
I was just going to say, like, you can't keep her out of that title picture much longer. Cause
I don't think you can.
Especially when Michael Cole and Corey Graves every Monday are talking about her being the best wrestler in the world. Because Michael says it, Corey has to talk about it. So, yeah. Why? And then like, okay, if she's the best wrestler in the world, then why isn't she going after her title?
I do like how after this match, did you start getting flashbacks from the old Bloodline days where you would get like 5,000 backstage segments with the Bloodline? Like,
Oh my god!
oh my god!
Look. Yeah, my notes. Roman with Jimmy. Salrook and Eoska fight. Jimmy and Jay talk Roman. Like,
Yeah, but it's cool. Like I said, it's like the Usos are on a little bit more level of a playing field. I do still have a problem with them kowtowing to him, though, because, like, of anybody, they've been treated the worst. Like, Solo got some, but Solo kind of got his hands on him a little bit. You know what I mean? They had a couple of matches, and, like, so, like, Solo kind of got his, and Solo went off to be Solo, while these two, like, it was just the fact that he wins the title, and they're like, all right, Brain, what are we doing today? Same thing that we do every week, you know? It's just like, God, dog it.
at least they toned down. They toned down Jay this week. He wasn't that yelling, like losing, like
he's back on his meds.
Yeah, I think they gave
back
him
on his
mild
meds,
sedative.
Jay.
Yeah, he wasn't like. Yeah, he wasn't in attack mode.
Back on his meds, Jay. As
was
opposed to
better.
I'm off my meds, Jay.
I could understand what he was saying because when he starts yelling, I don't know what the hell he's saying. I don't think Jay knows what he's saying.
Nobody does. Just like,
Creative's,
calm
even
down.
Creative's like, what is he saying? Gorilla's just like, it's live. We'll just roll with it.
Just let him go, man. Just let him go. All right, Street Profits celebrate the fact that they're getting a title shot. Seth shows up again. Watkins is kind of softening on Seth, and
Because Seth helped him out.
yeah, I know, but Seth, but I mean, I guess my question is, has there really been that much bad blood between Seth and the Street Profits?
I know, like, where's
It's
this
not
coming from?
resonating with me, right? Like, it's just like, I don't know if there's like history there that's like derailing them. You know, folks in the comments section, please tell me. But like, it would be interesting, to see what the history is there, because like it doesn't stand out enough to me to be like, oh my God, of course they don't like him. You know what I mean? I just don't know if it's like by reputation, like you're a dick. I don't want to deal with you.
It's just weird that they've come out during a lot of Seth stuff to help out, to jump in the melee. So, well, we get it.
He's told them it's because it's the tag titles, not Seth. Yep. So it's like, it's basically Seth going, I'm getting a lot of mixed signals here. Are we cool? No, we're not cool. But you came and helped me. So, like, it's just him and the Street Profits, man. I'm getting mixed signals.
Yeah, I think they're just benefiting from timing. They just happen to be the same place at the same time, but it's good. And then I think I don't know if it was at that point, but at some point in the show, Austin Theory's leaving, and he gets in an SUV. You see a woman with blonde hair, and I'm like, that's Maxine Dupree. And the only reason why I caught that was I saw a couple things just that yesterday on the internet where like they showed him in the background talking to Maxine Dupree while other stuff's going on, like Easter eggs, like a couple of times. So when I saw the blonde hair, I'm like, okay, now they're throwing Maxine in here, so it's a thing.
Wrestling is such an incestuous, like, relationship business. It's crazy. Like, it was Kaiser and Tiffany Stratton at one point. I don't know. I ain't trying to keep
but they're putting these two on TV together, so I don't know. I don't know if it's just storyline only.
It might have been inadvertent.
I gotta go check laundry.
So Obafemi's open challenge that everybody's just like, fuck that, we ain't doing that.
Yeah,
I want. That looks painful. I don't want to do that. He was like, you bunch of cowards. He goes back and drags out like little stars.
They're like Tozawa was right about this last week. We ain't going down that route.
I love that. Like, he literally drags him out carries one, drags the other one like out to the ring, beats
like
their
an angry
ass.
Parent picking his kids up from school for getting suspended or whatever.
He's just like,
wait till your ass gets home there, kiddos.
It was just so different. And I'm like, how are we? You know what's going to happen, and I know it's coming, is there's going to be he's finally going to get somebody big to really tie in with him. Probably to set up at Clash in Italy or whatever the hell the Clash is.
I saw something
But
that
no,
they said somebody said it should be Omos. At least he's big.
I said it, and it
Yeah, I
didn't
saw it
make
on
me
social
happy.
media.
That's
You
right.
said-
In the text chain, I said almost.
Yeah. As if almost can wrestle, almost worth watching.
Almost can talk, almost can promo. Yeah. So we get, all right, on the way to the ring for his match with like the fraud original El Grande Americano, we get JD McDonough gets his crap kicked out of him by Finn Balor. And then, it basically Finn just looks at Dom and is like, do it on your own, big guy. Which started the whole thing to get Finn kicked out of Judgment Day, which makes it so much better. So much better. Like, you know what I mean? It's that little dig where Finn is going to be like, I've been trying to tell you, man. I've been trying to get you there. The shenanigans happen, but the dynamic of in America, original is over. But in Mexico, the true El Grande Americano is over, like insanely over. And like in the US, like he's a heel. Like there's just so much. But like
I know, and then the crowd last night, they were giving Dirty Dom chants, and then they were booing him, and then some people were cheering Gable, and then also booing Gable. So it's like a mixed reaction. So I don't know if it's that there's fans that know what's going on in AAA, or if they're just fans like, yeah, I don't know what to do.
I think there's a lot of good that comes out of it because AAA's got a big show coming up. Mask v Mask is going to be huge.
Yes.
And Dom's the mega champion. So you have to kind of, cross promotional good stuff. Goodness. You know what I mean? It's like every now and again when you see a TNA guy. So, all right. So we're up to the last.
Dom's not even defending on that AAA show, is he? As of right now,
I don't know, but he's at like 279 or something like that with his. He's at 279 with his championship ring right now.
Why are those blankets everywhere, Sean? Why are they?
Because you don't see me.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it, man. Jay tries to stop Jacob, try to talk sense into him. Jacob basically tells Roman, like, kiss my ass. Like, I ain't acknowledging shit. And goes Tongan death grip on him. Like, the Usos at one point get spiked through, like, a barrier. All three of them, actually. He pushed all three of them through.
That was the very end. Yep.
It was really good brawl, and I love that Jacob didn't kowtow. I'm so sick of people kowtowing to Roman. And the fact that he's just like, nah. And now they're like, he's going to be out of here. Like, F your face. Like, let him roll. I do wonder, though, if they write him off. I don't know if he can travel. He wrestled in Japan, though.
He can. He has a special, I think he got special, WWE worked out. He's got special travel arrangements so wherever we can travel.
I got you. But, just a good ending. I like that Jacob's a one-man wrecking crew, and he's just, to kind of steal from Seth Rollins, burn it down, man. Burn it all down. So it was a good show, man. Like Friday, Saturday, and Monday were just great. Great shows. Everything worked. I wasn't disappointed or bored at all. It just all came together. So it was a good weekend for wrestling. It was a really good weekend for wrestling.
It really was. And kind of like we got a huge youth movement going. I'd like to know when CM Punk, we're going to see CM Punk back again. I'd like to know when we're going to see Randy Orton.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. We haven't seen him.
Or Drew McIntyre. We haven't heard anything from Drew McIntyre either. Which I did see a video Drew posted on social media. He just finished like a workout. Dude, he's shredded. Like,
he's always shredded, though.
No, he was super. Wow.
Everybody that comes back, though, does that. Like, the most impressive will always be Randy Orton. Like, that dude came back with, like, new ass muscles. You're like,
he came back laughing at the ring announcer because they, like, list him at 275, and he's like, no, more like 295.
All muscle, bro.
I think I saw an interview. He got up like 310. Was his biggest.
It was crazy. When he first came back off an injury, that dude was so shredded. Like, shredded in places people don't normally get shredded. So I hope he comes back. Please let KO come back. But you know what? Everybody's coming back. We're picking up subscribers every week. Matt, tell the folks where to find us.
Yeah. Go ahead and find us over on YouTube and TikTok, Instagram, X, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And a little shorter episode, but we already covered SmackDown and we did our PLE. So really not a lot of... We're kind of happy with the storytelling, I think, right now.
I'm happy right now. I'm content, minus the
I'm
bloodline stuff. There's a little... It's the inconsistency with that. Like,
and you and I talked about this last night. Like, you said how Jacob is as a compelling adversary for Roman, and I agree.
Yes.
This is going to be one of Roman's better feuds if they do it right. And I don't want it to be one match. I think this is a 3-match series with a...
I think so.
You have a blow-off.
And if Roman's going to pop smoke after the summer, you probably have Jacob take the title off of him.
Yeah.
And then you just, I don't know. There's so much you can do with it. But no, I like that Roman has to work for it. And with Jacob, awesome. So, it's all good. So, like I said...
Let Jacob take it, and then Braun and Jacob can go at it. And that'd be fun, too.
So, like I said, ringside to trackside is in the works. A lot of editing. It was supposed to be a lot of... The original premise was a lot of quick clips, but after the disaster that was Watkins Glen, going a little bit different direction. We'll get some compilation videos out there, and it'll get posted to our YouTube. But I just want to thank everybody for listening.
Micro wrestling for you this weekend, along with the races.
It's a little surprise. But yeah, micro wrestling's there. So, I just... Like I said, folks, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Tell your friends. Tell everybody. And you know what, Matt? That's it, man. It's a wrap. We split it into 2 shows. And I hope everyone has a great week. Enjoy SmackDown on Friday, and let's have some fun.
Yeah, buddy. It's a blast.
Alrighty, folks. Talk to y'all later. Have a good one.